Hey folks, this is Kelani. With the recent announcements of Battle for Azeroth and its release date, we'll probably see quite a few players returning to the game or maybe picking it up for the first time. Depending on when you left us, you might need quite a helping hand getting back into the swing of things, so this is for everyone who might be thinking, oh, that expansion looks sweet, I'm gonna hop on the WoW train again and get ready for Battle for Azeroth. I'll be giving you some general information about what to get done to catch up to the current goings on in-game, as well as a few hints and tips to make things a little easier. Let's get started. First things first, the level cap for the current expansion is level 110, so if you aren't quite there yet, that's going to be your first goal. If it's your first time in the World of Warcraft, I would recommend going through the leveling process at whatever pace suits you best. Don't feel pressured to rush to the end, it's a wonderful world out there after all. If you're only interested in the endgame stuff, then by all means blaze away. A few things have changed when it comes to the leveling process. The most important change is that the world now scales dynamically to your level. Most zones don't have the same restrictions they used to, so you can quest almost anywhere you want while playing through the various expansions until you make it to Legion content. Vanilla still caps out at level 60, so you'll have to move on at that point, but you can go to either Outlands or Northrend now from 60 to 80. Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria zones have been combined in a similar fashion, providing some choices for your 80 to 90 adventure, and then you're onto Warlords of Draenor where things are more or less the same. Once you get to level 98, you can move on to the Legion leveling experience, which is pretty fantastic the first time through. If you're already at level 100, just head straight into the Legion stuff, and if you really don't want to spend your time leveling through old content, you can get a level 100 boost by purchasing the Legion expansion, or you can pre-purchase Battle for Azeroth, get Legion along with it, and also receive a level 110 boost. That means you would skip over the Legion leveling experience, so make sure to consider all of your options before pulling the trigger on making any of those purchases. There's a few things to keep an eye out for while leveling through Legion. You should receive some quests guiding you to the artifact system where you'll choose which artifact to pursue and obtain, as well as quests for setting up your class hall. Artifacts are a huge part of your character power, so don't overlook them, and class halls are also very important. So when you get those quests, be sure to complete them and work your way through any more that appear in your class hall. If this is your first level 110 character, you're going to have a bit of a longer checklist than everyone else. You're going to need to unlock world quests, so be sure to pick up that quest from Khadgar in Dalaran. I believe the quest is called Uniting the Isles, and to complete it you will need friendly reputation with pretty much every faction in the Broken Isles, as well as the Nightfallen. You can start the Nightfallen campaign by also talking to Khadgar and working your way through the quest line until you set up your little base of operations in Suramar. Most of the other reputations should be done already if you leveled through each zone, but if you still need to knock one or two off the list, just work your way through the story quests in the appropriate zones and you should be fine. Once you've ticked everything off the list, you'll get your Flight Master's Whistle and you'll be able to start doing world quests. If you've unlocked world quests on a previous character, you can just talk to Khadgar and skip the entire achievement. Once you're up at level 110, you can start to really progress your character. One of the first things you'll want to work on is your artifacts. You'll obtain a powerful weapon for each specialization available to you, and to increase the potential of those weapons, you need to collect artifact power. AP can come from world quests, dungeons, raids, almost any form of content really, so as long as you're playing the game, you should be earning quite a bit of AP. Use the artifact power on the artifact weapon you want to power up, then visit your class hall to unlock new traits and powers. At the moment, every character at max level is already bumped up to the maximum amount of artifact knowledge, so you don't actually have to worry about that anymore. Artifact knowledge increases the amount of AP you receive from all sources, so we started down in the hundreds like you probably saw while questing, but nowadays we're raking in billions for simple tasks. Inflation is no joke. So I mentioned your class hall already, but if you haven't completed it by level 110, that's probably something that should be on your list. Picking up quests is fairly easy, just head to your class hall and look for any exclamation marks. You'll know when you reach the end because you should get a huge chunk of AP as well as a title. You can do most of the campaign while leveling, so don't feel like you have to wait until max level. It's a nice break from the typical questing and provides a good amount of experience too. There's more than just missions available in your class hall though. One of the quests should introduce you to your class hall upgrades, most of which are nice little bonuses, but there's one which is a ridiculous power boost to your character and is more or less required. The upgrade, which allows you to equip an additional legendary, is still one of the first things you'll want to make sure you unlock on any new level 110 character. Thankfully, that doesn't take anywhere near as long or as many order hall resources as it used to, so working your way down that list should be pretty easy. If you've been away from the game for a long time, you might have a little bit of a weird reaction to hearing equip 2 legendaries. Well, a legendary in Legion isn't exactly what a legendary used to be. Everyone can obtain a variety of legendary armor pieces. If you want to check out the legendaries available to you, open up your dungeon journal. Default shortcut is Shift J, click on loot. Each of these legendaries has a chance to drop from almost any form of content. Rares, chests, dungeons, raids, you name it. Each legendary provides different special effects for a variety of spells and abilities, but every legendary is significantly more powerful than any other loot you can get in the game. Equipping one will be a huge difference, but being able to equip your second will be so much better. You can only equip 2 with your class alt upgrade unlocked, so make sure to get that done. At this point, you're probably wanting to get your hands on some new gear. There's a variety of ways to gear up in Legion, but you will ultimately end up on Argus trying to squeeze yourself into the newest raid. Before we get to that point, you can complete world quests, both for the rewards of the world quest itself, but also to complete the daily emissary quests. At the bottom corner of your map, you should see 3 factions which require aid. Complete 4 world quests related to that faction to finish the emissary quest, then go pick up your reward. You'll get a new emissary quest every day and they last for 3 days before they expire, so you can just do them in groups of 3 if you really want to. These emissary quests reward you with a chest which contains a whole bunch of goodies, including extra gear, artifact power, gold, and resources. You can also head into dungeons. Normal dungeons are very easy and award item level 845 gear, which isn't too bad to get you started. Heroic dungeons clock in at 865 item level, so a nice little boost, and then if you can get into some mythic dungeon runs you can snatch up some 885 gear. The problem with mythic dungeons is that you have to join a group through the group finder tool. You can't queue into them like normal or heroic dungeons, so they'll be significantly harder to get groups for, especially while you're a little undergeared. Thankfully, there's some other options on the table. World quests and heroic dungeons should get you enough gear to start working on some of the other story content available at max level, so let's have a look at that. After you've completed Uniting the Isles, a quest will appear at Krausis Landing called Assault on the Broken Shore. This starts the storyline of us starting to fight back against the Legion and creating a base of operations right on the doorstep of the Tomb of Sargeras. You'll need to go through the opening scenario if this is your first character at max level, but it shouldn't take you too long. If you've done this before on a previous character, just talk to Khadgar after accepting the quest to skip over this scenario. Once that's done, you have 2 choices. You can continue on with this storyline which provides a variety of bonuses like AP, Order Hall resources, reputation with the newly unlocked faction, the Armies of Legionfall, and eventually they lead you to earning one of your class specific mounts which are really cool. Or you can go straight to Argus. The storyline for the Broken Shore shouldn't take you all that long anymore because it's available straight away. When these quests were first available, we had to wait a week in between each quest, which made it take significantly longer. To start your adventures on Argus, just hearth back to Dalaran and you should automatically receive the quest, the Hand of Fate. The quest will lead you to a boat in one of your faction cities, and then onto the Exodar. You'll board the Vindicar and travel to Argus, where you need to progress through each of the 3 story zones. Along the way, you'll unlock a whole bunch of new world quests, the ability to gear up your followers further, new Order Hall missions, and when you're done with the entire story, you'll also unlock the Netherlight Crucible. The Netherlight Crucible allows you to further empower your artifact weapons, depending on how much artifact power you've managed to collect. As you level up your artifact weapon, you can unlock new tiers of this fancy new talent tree, which allows you to power up your artifact relics. It really is just another talent tree to work your way through, just like the artifact weapon tree itself. To unlock everything in the Crucible, you will need to have an artifact level of 75, so that's a nice number to aim for. The world quests you unlock on Argus can reward some pretty awesome gear, but perhaps the best source of gear at this point in the game comes from Veiled Argonite. You can get Veiled Argonite from world quests on Argus, rares on Argus, treasures on Argus, and the invasion points on Argus. If you didn't already guess, you have to be on Argus to get Veiled Argonite, so you're probably going to spend quite a bit of time in these 3 new zones. There's also some weekly quests which you can pick up on the Vindicar, which you will most likely complete just by doing Argus world quests and invasion points, but they provide a good amount of Veiled Argonite, so it's always worth picking them up. You can spend your Veiled Argonite by visiting Thaumaturge Vashrin on the Vindicar. He sells tokens for every gear slot you could want for 650 Veiled Argonite each, and those tokens turn into item level 910 gear, so until you have at least item level 910 in every slot, Veiled Argonite is going to be your best way to gear up. From here, you're more or less caught up. It just depends on what you want to get done. One thing you can work towards is the achievements required to unlock flying in Legion zones. Bear in mind that these achievements do take quite a chunk of time, and flying isn't enabled on Argus at all, so you would just be speeding up all travel on the Broken Isles and Broken Shore. If that's of interest, you will need to explore every questing zone for the Broken Isles Explorer achievement, complete all major storylines for the Loremaster of Legion achievement, complete 100 different world quests, complete your class order campaign, and earn Revered with the 6 Broken Isles reputations to earn the Broken Isles Diplomat achievement. That's for part 1. You can't fly just yet, that comes with part 2. For the second part, you need to complete part 1, as well as explore the Broken Shore and earn Revered reputation with the Armies of Legionfall, the new reputation that you're introduced to on the Broken Shore. So a lot of world quests for a lot of rep and a lot of questing in general. It can take quite a while, so decide whether or not you think it's worth it. If you want to head into the latest raid, you can easily go through the Raid Finder tool to see all of the fights in the story as it progresses. If you want to step up in difficulty, you can try normal mode by looking for a group in the Group Finder tool. Just be wary that once again you'll be joining into an actual party of players instead of being automatically placed into a group via a queue system, so it may take longer to get into a normal mode group. Obviously above that there's heroic difficulty, and if you want to take things to the extreme, Mythic and Taurus the Burning Throne is currently the hardest raiding content in the game. If you're looking for a challenge but don't fancy the large groups or time commitment of raiding, dungeons now have a new system called Mythic Plus Dungeons. You can work your way through progressively harder dungeon content by increasing the level of your Mythic Plus key. As the key level gets higher, more challenging attributes or affixes stand in your way. Mobs can leave puddles on the ground when they die, cause damage over time to the entire group when they die, bosses or trash can be stronger, and there's plenty of others which change how you have to approach each dungeon, just to keep you on your toes. You can start your Mythic Plus adventure by completing either a Mythic dungeon or a Mythic Plus dungeon, and you'll get your first keystone in the chest at the end of the dungeon. You can either use your keystone and upgrade it when you complete a dungeon within the time limit, or join another group using someone else's keystone. Yours won't get upgraded, but you'll still get loot at the end, and if you complete a Mythic Plus dungeon once a week, you get some bonus loot in your order hall cache when the servers reset. If you want to collect a few more legendaries but hate the idea of just waiting for one to drop, there's also a way to purchase them with a very specific currency. Awakening Essence is awarded from a variety of content that we've already talked about, as well as a few other sources. You can hop into a daily heroic dungeon, get a daily heroic battleground win from the daily emissary chests, from each boss in Taurus the Burning Throne on any difficulty, as well as from that weekly order hall cache on reset day. You can also get some from the weekly PvP rewards if you really want to get ready for Battle for Azeroth with some good old Horde vs Alliance action. If you manage to collect up 1000 Awakening Essence, take them to the blacksmith in Dalaran, who will sell you a purified Titan Essence token, which when used will create a random legendary item for your current specialization. Boom! Easy legendaries. The last thing I would recommend you take a look at is the allied races that were just released. You need a level 110 Horde character to unlock the Nightborn and the High Mountain Tauren, and a level 110 Alliance character to unlock the Void Elves and the Lightforged Draenei. All of these races require you to earn Exalted Reputation with their appropriate faction, and to complete specific achievements, so if you fancy playing as one of these shiny new allied races, you're going to have to work through yet another checklist. Once the reps and achievements are done, you can play through the allied races quests, which when completed, will reward you with an achievement, amount, and the ability to create and play the new races. From here, you're in the same boat as the rest of us, trying to keep busy until Battle for Azeroth goes live. You can collect mounts, pets, transmog, push yourself in either Mythic Plus or in Taurus the Burning Throne, earn a few honourable kills and achievements in PvP, and just generally have fun. You can also go through with the quests from older story points in the game, such as finishing Suramar and unlocking the 2 dungeons there, unlocking Karazhan as a dungeon, completing the Trial of Valor quests, going through the Balance of Power questline, the Illidan Soul quest lines. Honestly, there's a lot to unlock if this is your first rodeo in Legion. And there's quests for pretty much all of it. If you follow the orange quests, you should be good for the most part, or anything which looks or sounds important. If you ever get stuck, be sure to check the Violet Citadel in Dalaran, Krasus Landing in Dalaran, Deliverance Point on the Broken Shore, and the Vindicar on Argus. Those are the locations where most of the important quests start and finish, so they're always a great place to check if you think you're missing something. I'll also have a bunch of links ready in the comments section below to give you an extra helping hand if you need it. I hope this helped anyone coming back to the game from a little break, or anyone anyone joining in the fun for the first time. Where do you fit in? Are you currently playing the game, or are you returning or starting up for the first time? Let me know in the comments section below. A huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. If you want to join those lovely people in supporting the channel, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.